Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and posse. I'm your host, Tiffany, and full warning, I was just crying for a solid hour and a half before coming on here. So there will be likely tears, emotions, laughter. There's going to be lots of things. So brace yourself. And I'm slightly undercaffeinated. So there's that. I always come up with my podcast topics first. And typically I write my, notes and my talking points for the episodes first. Sometimes I record the episode and then I do it the other way around. Today I have no talking points and not much in the tank, so to speak, energetically. And obviously emotionally really all over the place. And so I'm like, oh my God, what episode it's due today to my producer. I'm like, what episode and what topic do I need to record on? Please, for the love of God, be it something that I have it in me to really deliver, because you guys only deserve the best and I only want to deliver the best. Now, my best every day looks different. So does yours. Sometimes my best, it's winning when I brush my teeth and I manage to change my hoodie, right? Sometimes that's winning for the day. Other times I've accomplished, 17 things and it's 11 o'clock and I feel like I'm on top of the world. It all looks different, but you guys deserve the best that I can give on any given day. So I'm thrilled that this is part of the Unblocked series that I needed to record, since this is more of an emotionally based topic. And those of you who are new to this series, the Unblocked series is designed where I am speaking directly to that inner bully of yours, that ego, that critical parent that's in your brain, that nastiness where you're coming up with the self-judgment, self-doubt, comparison-itis, feeling like a fraud. And I'm speaking and talking sense right to that mofo. So it goes, okay, I hear you. And that's what it's designed to do. So I put in brackets at the front of these episodes. It says clearly Get Unblocked series. So whatever platform you listen on, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, you can just scroll and you'll clearly see Get Unblocked series. I take the main thoughts and things that you guys say to me on repeat and turn them into episodes. So you can DM me on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany and say, hey, I'd love for you to cover this thought that my inner bully comes up with or says to me. I would love it if you could cover this on the Get Unblocked series. And that's where we come up with these episodes. Otherwise, I pull them from, my ProjectME posse, group coaching membership people, my private clients, my own brain. So today's focus is you're too boring, too old, too awkward, too introverted to build a following and make money online. You're too anything, right? Who do you think you are to be doing this, right? You've already had a career. You're 45 years old. You're not some 27-year-old Instagrammer bouncing around, doing booty shots. Who are you to be doing this? You're not, Mr. or Mrs. Charisma and super extroverted and a show person. So who's going to be that magnetized to listen to you? You don't have a college degree or any damn credentials. You've not even been into Forbes, honey. You've not been on Forbes. So why in the hell would anyone listen to you? Listen, that's the biggest racket there is going on. Now, it is the biggest racket. Remember, I am a professionally trained journalist. I was a TV newscaster for quite a few years for NBC, CBS, CNN, okay? Most of my friends from college are in the TV production business. They're print and TV journalists. Let me tell you something. This Forbes thing is a racket. Now, getting into Forbes genuinely when you're not paying for it, that's awesome. Like, I want that shit for myself. That's great. I mean, I've not pitched them anything, but I want that for myself. Who wouldn't? I'm all about free press, honey. I'm all about it. That's why, unless you have some janky ass podcast or publication that you don't really take seriously, I usually say yes when I'm asked to be on, a podcast, a show, a radio show, whatever it is. Like, they say no press is bad press. I mean, we clearly know that's an outdated saying, right? It's like, I don't think so. I don't think we want to be in the cancel culture press. But this Forbes thing is a racket. It's like, well, I haven't been in Forbes. I haven't been on a fitness magazine cover. I'm not a certified coach. I'm not a fucking certified coach. You know what my certification is? All the goddamn zeros in my bank account. That's my certification. My certification is 14 years as an entrepreneur, 2 businesses, and now over 20 streams of passive income that are managed with very little time. That's my life, my experience, my mistakes, my wins, my major screw ups, my major fails, my recoveries, the over 1,500 people I've coached privately, over 150,000 in group settings. That is my certification. Those are my credentials. Now, you might not have those kind of wow numbers yet, but your life story is a wow. So did you lose 60 pounds on your own and keep it off? That's freaking wow to me. Did you grow up in an alcoholic household and have to really work at reprogramming your thoughts and behaviors in order to have self-worth and achieve things in life? That's way more impressive to me than you took some certification for, $999 or whatever. Those are the people who I hire. I don't give a shit. My most recent coach I hired 3 months ago, Cara Alwell of the Champagne Diet. You guys might be familiar with her. She's fantastic, by the way. If you're not familiar with her or her writings or all of her amazing books, you need to go check her out. I don't care. I don't know if she has a certification. I don't give a shit. I pay her a crap ton of money. You know what her certification is? She has 9+ published books. She has millions of downloads in her podcast episode. Her personality, her genuineness, her willingness to be vulnerable, the audience and platform she's built, her membership community. I don't even know if she went to college, and I don't give a shit. Do you see what I'm saying? When I hired my fitness coach, I didn't care if he had a degree in kinesiology. Is that even the right degree for that? I didn't care. Now, do I care I don't want to get injured? Do I care that someone knows what they're talking about? Yeah. But what I cared more is that I felt seen, heard, understood, and trusted and connected to the person, and that I felt right in that situation, or even in Cara's situation, right? That I'm desiring more knowledge, more skills, more accomplishments in this certain area, and I believe that person can get me there. That's it. I don't care if someone's in Forbes. So your brain is telling you wild stuff. You're to this or to that. I thought a lot of these same things because I am an introvert. Although I don't necessarily present like one, I'm a socialized introvert, but I need a lot of alone time to process and recover. And if I don't get it, it ain't cute. Like, it is not cute. I don't have enough alone time right now. And that was part of my meltdown, where while I was crying, really ugly crying, sobbing, well, my face doesn't move. So I don't have a hardcore ugly cry. I would just say it's my mouth that's more ugly, because that's really probably the only thing that can fully move on my face. But I kept saying to myself, I just want to be left alone. And I don't mean by you guys. I don't mean by DMs or emails. So don't take it like that. That's not what I mean. What I mean is I just want alone time to be with myself, to process. I have things that I'm working through. I'm healing. I'm recovering from, I'm processing from, and I just need a minute. You know what I'm saying? When you just need a minute, I know, especially the moms out there, you're like, girl, I need a minute every day. And you don't get a minute. This is what I say. And most of my friends are moms. I'm not a mom of humans. I'm rich auntie. I love, kids are so smart. I have my friend, she has a 8-year-old son. He's so smart. This little, he wants to come on. He slid into my fucking DMs. He's allowed to like go on Instagram, like if his mom's on it and watching stuff, and he can hear my voice, because my voice is like apparently really distinct. And he's like, oh, it's Tiffany. And then he slid into my DMs because he knows I love Legos. And fun fact about me, I'm really like, I'm 12, really. They need to come out with sparkle Legos, by the way. Someone needs to do that. Anyway, so I collect all of their Christmas sets. So every single year, Lego comes out with a new Christmas set and a new advent calendar. I have every single set. The advent calendar's kind of lost my interest a little bit, but I have every single set they've ever had. But I'm like part of their VIP program in order to be able to get the set, because then they sell out and you can't get it. And I always get him. They have cute Lego ornaments you can build and stuff. And I always get him something. And he's like, did you order the new Christmas set? What is it? I'm like, this kid is so smart. And I said, I did. And I go, did you put in any special order for yourself? And he goes, well, he's like, did you see there's a Star Wars advent calendar, Christmas advent calendar? And I'm like, there is. And I go, huh. And I said, I wonder if you could get like a pre-Christmas present from Santa. And he wrote, or Auntie Tiff. I'm like, this kid's slick. I just was laughing. I'm like, Jesus, it's not hard to really get me, really. I don't know why I went off on that subject. Do we even know why? So this whole thing about being too boring, too old, whatever, it's bullshit. It's your brain's way of trying to put you in shame, make you feel like shit because you should have started sooner. You should have started before kids. You should have done it then. You should have done it at this age. Well, how about the fact that you weren't supposed to? Because if you were supposed to start it before, if you were supposed to start it when, if you were supposed to be a different person in order to do it, then that's what would have happened. You're forgetting that you are not in control. I don't care what you believe in. Divine spirit is in control. If you have the dream in your heart and it's not left you, you have that pull, that yearning to have a personal brand, to start a business, to build something in a network marketing company, to use your story to help inspire people and coach people and guide them through life. If you want to stop busting your ass to make money in a medical profession where you get pennies for your freaking time, which is ludicrous. Same with teachers, right? You want to stop that crap and you want to set up your business and redesign it and set it up in a different way where you work around your own life, right? Not your life has to work around your work schedule. And you are done with it and you want to have something different. So you have that freedom to do what you want, when you want. You don't have to ask your husband for money, your wife for money, your uncle for money, the credit card company for money. You bring in your own damn money. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to put in for time off. If you want to go hang out in Zimbabwe for a month and work from there, you can. There's a reason you have that pull in your heart. If you're listening to this, if you're listening to the show, period, you have this pull. Remember, it took me 10 freaking years to start this brand, ProjectME with Tiffany Carter. 10 years from having the clear idea, the logo, the colors, the ideal client. Did I have everything hashed out? No. I resisted even having everything plotted out. I told myself all these things. I wasn't skinny enough, was a big one for me. Even though at that time I was in the throes of my workout addiction. So I was pretty major hard body, but I didn't look like a bobblehead. And that's what mostly I saw online were, people being bobbleheads. You got to be kind of that blonde haired, ethnically ambiguous tan bobblehead bouncing around places in a white bikini in order to make money. And that wasn't me. So I used that as an excuse. I used that I didn't have the energy. I was too introverted. That I should have started this. I should have gotten on Instagram when Instagram first came out. I should have started an email list and I never did. I should have started my podcast when I first discovered podcasts a gazillion years ago because it wasn't so saturated then. So I missed the boat. I shoulda, coulda, woulda. So fucking what? So what? I wasn't supposed to do that. Some of you weren't supposed to do it then because a lot of you have gotten divorces and you would have had to have given half of that away. Some of you weren't supposed to do it because God knew you had other shit you had to deal with, process, whether it was a health crisis, it was a death in the family. There was other stuff that was coming up in your path that there was no way you could have seen, and that had to be dealt with first. In my case, I had a lot more I had to experience and heal in order to be able to show up how I do for you guys today and be able to talk about all the things that I talk about and be raw and real and vulnerable and not use a veil and not show up as newscaster Tiff. I couldn't have done that with years of deep inner work, trauma healing work, PTSD healing work, inner child work. Couldn't have done it. And if I did do it, it would have been out of integrity. This had to happen now. And guess what? I've only been monetizing ProjectME with Tiffany Carter for 3.5 years. We're at $1 million a year. So how about the fact that if you had started whenever, you're saying you should have started. Okay? If you're saying I should have done this all along, whatever, all that crap, if you had started then, it could have taken you a lot longer. You're supposed to start now. You're supposed to start anyway. You're supposed to show up regardless now. And it's like, how do I know it's the right time? It's never the right time. I waited 10 years. But if you feel pulled and it's not like you've been pulled for 1 week, you've been pulled now for months and years. I'm telling you, if there was something someone could have told me on repeat 10 years ago, 5 years ago, someone could have told me, it's Tiffany, you're waiting for this magical sign from God, from the universe to come down and you to wake up one day and feel ready and feel inspired and feel motivated and be very clear and know exactly what to do and then really go for it. It doesn't happen. That's never happened. Not one thing I've launched, not one thing I've created have I gone, it's ready. But what I will say is this. It's time. So even for my first ever access to me in person, aside from me, speaking at events and things like that, my 2-day in-person mastermind experience, terrifying for me. Very out of my introvert comfort zone. Very out of it. Also brings up childhood shit. I'm not someone who hosts parties or gatherings at my house. I'm not that person. It's awkward for me. I'm not Betty Homemaker. I'm not Martha Stewart. I have no idea what the fuck to do. I'm not the girl who like would go and pick up bridal magazines the second I was engaged, which has been 3 times. I wasn't the one who, did pins of, oh, these are my tablecloths and this is what I'm going to have. If anything, it gave me anxiety, the thought of having any form of a big formal event. It is so freaking awkward to me on about 1,000 levels. I'm not the girl who throws herself her own birthday party and invites everybody. It's so vulnerable and awkward to me. So it's not like I was ready to have my first in-person event. And I didn't have to do it at all. This is not some like grand moneymaker. Yes, is it highly profitable? Well, of course I'm making sure it's highly profitable because this is a business, not a jobby. Right? But could I have spent my time and energy and utilized my resources and my team on focusing on a different offer that would have yielded a much greater return? Absolutely. But it was time. It was time for me to offer this. I felt called. I knew that there were a clear group of women who absolutely needed this. I felt it in my body that needed this to take them to the next level because there's a magic that occurs when you're in person. And I've experienced it as a participant. I've experienced it. I know that power. And I'm not talking some raw event. Nothing's wrong with those. It gives you a temporary high, right? But then you've really never done any work and you still don't know what to do. That's not what this is. This is you walk away knowing exactly the who, what, when, where, why, how, why, all those things. And as long as you put it into place, your ass is going to make money. And if it doesn't, I would give you your money back. That's literally the guarantee that I very clearly gave. That's how much I believe in it. And I know it was needed, but it was time. I wasn't ready. There were times during this that I'm calling up people on my team going, fuck this. I don't want to do this. This is too much. All over me, all over us not being able to find these candles we wanted. I'm not joking. I'm like, this is stupid. This is taking up too much time. Is anyone really, who in the hell is going to come here for me? All sorts of shit came up, but it was time. Isn't it time? Isn't it time to do something big for yourself? Isn't it time to stop scrolling and watching other people do it and you wishing you could do it and then you telling yourself all the reasons why you can't do it or you should have done it sooner? What do you have to lose? Why not experiment and go for it? Because you're not doing it now, so you might as well go for it and see. You have nothing to lose. Yes, you've got to put time, energy, and money and love into it. So you could say, I have that to lose. But think of all of the energy you are spending on beating yourself up, saying, I can't do it because I don't show up like her. I don't look like her. People in my family don't do this. Who am I to think I'm doing this? My family will think I'm crazy. My husband thinks this is silly. Like, who do I think I am? Some like online influencer now? Listen. There are 9-year-olds making millions of dollars doing toy unboxings on YouTube. And then there's this lady I found. I've mentioned her before, and I'm spacing out on her name. She's not hard to find. She's probably 50-ish. She fucking eats crab claws and lobster and a variety of crustaceans on video with these long ass nails, and dips the shit in butter, is talking to you while eating all of this stuff, full seafood platters, making millions. She was not known before. This was started from her ass, from her love of eating all sorts of shit. But she did it. And she went all in with it. It's not like she puts out like one video a month. She went all in with it. and was willing to keep going with it until it took off, and it did. So meanwhile, you're sitting there going, wishing, wanting, hoping, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. You are burning so much energy. You are wasting money. You're already wasting money. You're worried about wasting money, whether it's hiring me to show you how to do the damn thing, right? Which is the only shortcut there is hiring someone who's already done it, whether it's someone, a contract worker, a coach, an employee, hiring someone who already knows how to do the damn thing, who's done it on repeat, who you like and trust and respect to show you. That's the only shortcut there is. But you're already wasting money because you're leaving money on the table, not doing the damn thing. And you're actually blocking abundance because you keep getting pulled and nudged and knocked on by God and the universe to go do this thing and use your gifts. And you keep going, telling the universe, no, 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 I have my hand up. You keep saying no, 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 and you keep getting nudged and pushed and whispered at, and your head knocked around with it, and you keep saying no. You're saying, I don't want to receive great abundance for doing what I love. In fact, all this stuff I'm saying I want, the freedom, the options this would create, actually feeling fulfilled, doing something I love. I say I want all of this and I long for this, but then I keep saying no. So you are giving crazy mixed signals to the universe, and there's nothing that comes of that. And only you can stop that. So you aren't to anything. You're exactly what you're supposed to be. And I hear I'm too boring a lot. I drove my car the other day to get fresh hair. Okay, my extensions put in. I don't remember when I drove my car before that down here at the beach. You don't have to drive. It's like, and this is not some giant place. If it was, this would be, oh my God, this would be easily $50,000 a month. And I'm not joking. It's $15,000 a month now. It's not some giant place. You could put me in a 600 square foot room. In fact, my coach lives in a 700 square foot adorable New York City high rise. And she's introverted. Funny how she always comes up with content. And it's still very interesting. Your content doesn't have to be that you're jet setting all over the world or that you're at a multi-million-dollar beachfront property. It can be the fact that you are introverted and you want to avoid people, and it can be your stories, and it can be your words, and it could be new things that you bought. It could be your advice. It's not, your personality is needed for that ideal client of yours to connect. I would not hire someone to coach me, for example, or consult me on something that's very vulnerable, on probably even my business that's an extreme extrovert. Not because I don't love extroverts. I have extroverts that work for me. Because that energy doesn't feel as supported, grounded, and safe to me. Okay? So you're supposed to be the age you're at. Hello? Think about the fact that you'll stand out online when you're not like the rest. This is what I wish someone said to me. I stand out online because I'm not like the rest. And I believe that's why you guys listen to the show. If you're vibing this episode, will you do me a favor and leave a 5-star written Apple podcast review? It really helps the show grow. We read each and every one of them. It takes you less than 90 seconds. If you don't know how to leave a podcast review, you can Google it and it pops right up. Leave your name or Instagram handle in the review and then DM me. Add a screenshot would be nice so we don't have to cross-reference, but if you forget, it's okay. And let me treat you to a coffee drink, your favorite beverage, fall beverage. If you really want to buy a pumpkin spice something or other and that really delights you, I suppose I will allow it. It's really fun when you guys go and treat yourself to your favorite luxuriating beverage. I'm amazed at some of the shit you guys put in your drinks. I'm like, wow, that's like some complex shit there. Where'd you think about that? But go leave a review. It's what helps this show grow and expand. And we all read it here behind the scenes. And it's especially helpful on those days where it's like you're having a hard day and you read through those reviews. It's like, damn, I am doing good work in the world. And I love you guys so damn much. But I want you to say this to yourself right now. I'd rather you say it out loud. Even if you're, at work with your one AirPod in, or you're changing a blowout diaper, whatever it is you're doing, I want you to say to yourself, you know what? It's time, girl. And if you're not a girl, because we have a lot of male listeners, it's time. That's it. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you guys. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.